Good morning. My name is Jeff Harden. I'm a second-year medical student here at the University of Toronto. My colleague Laura Duncan is absent today, but she and I make up part of the specialist team on this application.
My name is Judy Vorderbrug, and I'm the Community Health Coordinator on campus, and I'm one of the specialists on the team.
I'm Mohammed Oya. I'm a Master of Mechanical Engineering student and also a programmer.
I'm Farshad Safari, and I'm a Master of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and I'm programming in this project.
So in terms of the background on the project, within health and wellness, we've had increasing requests from students for tools and strategies that would help them make healthier choices on a regular basis. And for a long time, we've offered workshops in this area. More recently, we developed a tool, a paper tool that you can see on the screen, that is a daily self-care log. So it's basically a piece of paper that students would fill out over a period of days. The thinking behind the tool was to encourage reflection on current practices, but also to see the interrelationship between components of their well-being. And these are important parts of facilitating behavior change, but what we realized is that this paper tool had very real limitations. So it didn't do a number of things that students also wanted, which was something that would help them navigate the resources that are available in a big and a complex institution. It didn't help with customizing those resources according to their needs and preferences. And maybe most importantly, in terms of behavior maintenance, it didn't provide sort of a system of nudges and positive reinforcement when they followed through with their commitments to those behavior change. And then beyond that, it was a difficult system completing numerous paper tools over a period of time and then trying to understand the patterns that existed within that tool. And that's where the idea for an app really developed.
And so speaking to and reinforcing what Judy mentioned, and so the goal of this application was to take that paper tool and to convert it into an application to allow students to take a more active, to be more active in to enhancing their own and maintaining their own well-being through self-care. And so what the purpose of the app is that to provide tips and resources to support the development of healthy habits, to facilitate health promoting goal setting, and to encourage daily self-reflection in a number of components related to their health. We mentioned here 6 different components, which was in the paper tool. We have been focusing on sleep for the purposes of this app. And realistically, what we're looking to do is, because of how vast and because of how large the University of Toronto is, we're hoping to connect students with the resources that are available at the University of Toronto, informing them of how they can access those resources, and making those resources specific to students based on the needs or wishes as expressed by the answers that they submit in the app, to make sure that we're as specific as possible. And so now as a demonstration, Mohammed and I will demonstrate what it might look like in a clinical setting upon introduction to the app. So hi Mohammed, how are you doing?
Not so good. I'm still having a lot of problems with my sleep.
Oh, well, have you heard about this new app at the University of Toronto? No? Okay, well here you can notice that there's a number of components related to your health, and you mentioned difficulty sleeping, so we'll hit on that. And so in this, we'll give you the option of either filling out a new submission or making a new strategy. For the first time, we'll fill out a new submission and allow you to go through those 2 questions. So it seems you're unhappy to sleep, and you can click done. And then I'll ask you a further question to give you a little bit more information about your specific situation. And then as you notice, it'll bring up two recommendations, in this case, that were specific to the answer that you submitted. If you're all interested in any of these suggestions, for instance, exercise, you may be able to click on that and it will bring that up. And for instance, when you think exercise here at the University of Toronto, you might think of the athletic center. And so this will allow you to take a map so that you know where to find the athletic center. Should there be an exercise class, or should there be anything that might be offered in the recommendation that has a date, there's availability of a calendar right next to it that you'll be able to program into your phone to make sure that you're able to attend that workshop. Another feature that the app provides is that you can go and set a new strategy. And so one strategy that you'll be able to do is that the first one is you'll be able to set target bedtime for tonight. But another one that you'll be able to do is that you'll be able to set a sleep target. As a medical student, I would probably advise taking about 8 hours of sleep, so that seems like a reasonable sleep target to do for tonight. And so what we're going to do is we're going to update that. And what we're going to imagine is that we're going to see is, just as being students in general, probably the last thing you do before you go to bed is look at your phone, you turn it off, and then when you wake up in the morning, you come back to it, turn it back on, and we can score ourselves to see how we did relative to that evening's sleep. There's a progress bar just underneath that max time achieved of 5 seconds. It would typically highlight a little bit more relative to your goal, Obviously, in that 5 seconds, we didn't take too many meaningful steps towards that 8 hours. Hopefully, after a good night's sleep, it's going to be a little bit more filled out. Other features that the app provides is that
I see that there is the history here too.
absolutely there is the history, yeah, and so pardon me. So if you go through the history, you'll notice that over the last couple of days, we can go and we can take specifically and look at the different goals, or look at sort of how that night's sleep went by reflecting back on a previous sleep.
That's great.
Other features of the app is that while we did present to you just resource specific to your question, perhaps you might want to take a look through our entire resource banks related to your sleep. And as you can see, there's a search function that would allow you to refine your search and to identify things that, or resources and tips that might be particularly pertinent to things that you'd be interested in.
That's great.
Other features of the app is that over the long term, hopefully that we have enough data, or we'll get enough data, that you'll be able to track your trends over time to see how your sleep has been affected over the number of days or over a number of weeks. And as we continue to add more components to the application, what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to give students the opportunity to reflect back and see how the different components related to their health influence other components related to their health. And so you can see here that while my sleep might have been hasn't been great for the last 2 days, that might have to do with something about my mood, or furthermore, my sleep, lack of sleep might have to do something with my low mood as well. And so giving us that opportunity to reflecting back and seeing how we compare.
So the software, even when it's not open, is constantly monitoring the screen on and off activity and logging them into a database. This is not good. After that, those data will be used to calculate how much did you sleep, just estimation, and using basic statistics, we will analyze what the trends are on those data, like somebody is having floating amounts of sleep during the week, or they are just constantly decreasing. Based on those trends that are identified, as well as the answer to questions, a few personal inventory questions that are answered during the sign-up, the application will cater some specific resource for each user. Say that somebody mentions that he lives in his own home, you don't need to bring up resources that are related to roommates.
The key learnings for us in this project was that first of all, we used extensive planning for a good UI. Secondly, we learned to emphasize on creativity. We always revisit specifications and ask if there's a better way of doing something, some requirements. For example, in the beginning of the project, we estimate sleep time based on direct question. We ask that how many hours did you sleep last night? But at the end of the project, our application automatically estimates hours of sleep for the user, and after that, based on our provides resources and suggestions. For the future work is that we are going to add other health components to this application, and we are looking for exploring methods for automated data gathering. And secondly, we will update resources function. Right now, our functionality just showing for the suggestions, just showing the map and calendar. We will add we want to enable real-time notifying for events on the campus. And lastly, we will pre-release the application to the students for getting the feedback because the first flow is complete. First flow of the application, which was sleep, was complete, and we are looking forward for more feedback. And it was our presentation. Thank you very much for listening.
Interesting, there's lots of progress on this. It's a huge undertaking, it seems, more than probably you thought, actually, at the beginning. One comment on the structure you were describing again. Could you just go back to that slide?
Yes. Unfortunately, I use the custom phones, and it's not
okay.
empty.
I mean, you can see it. I'm a little confused as to what you were describing, whether it was aspirational in the future, or you're describing what actually happens.
Yeah, it happens. It's like I can describe it in a little bit more detail.
Before you do that, I think maybe you didn't quite convey all in the demo or anything else about what was actually going on. Maybe it would help to explain what was going on, because if you are doing statistical analysis of the sleep patterns, and
Very
you
basic.
are generating suggestions based on.
Yes.
Okay. wasn't clear. Maybe you should give maybe I'll say in your report,
Right.
it needs to be a lot more clear. I don't want to unlock 20 minutes of explanation, because I'm not sure where what that's for in the front.
I'm supposed to explain 1 or 2 minutes right now.
I want to go there. I have a suggestion for the demo. It's kind of a suggestion for you, Jeff. In presentations, you need to speak more slowly, you need to explain more. You're just sort of speaking in a friendly term to him, but you really weren't speaking to us and explaining anything. So I think that's part of the reason I think I missed what was going on because there wasn't enough time to absorb that this is happening. You would say, I touched this, and then you said this happened. But that cause, there should have been some explanation of that cause, which is kind of what you began to do here. So, but it's a hard thing. I don't know if you've done lots of presentations. It is a hard thing to project. That's why I was kind of trying to talk about projection. But also, your natural way of speaking is too fast for an audience to pick up. You need to bring the words up more clearly. That said, both of you gave a great motivation for it. It's compelling, actually. And I have a question for Judy, which is, and the answer should be no, but this isn't deployable as it is, right? You can't use this yet. Is that
As it is? No, not yet, I don't think so. I mean, ideally it would be all components together. That was the goal. But I think if we were wanting to create something that would be strictly focused on sleep, then potentially.
You could use it. Interesting. Other comments or questions?
Yep.
Yeah, so at one point you were showing that you could see analyze sleep.
That's
And then you also said to provide users with the ability to see patterns and how these things interact. You showed mood
Right.
and those things kind of track together. Now, was that for the purpose of demonstration?
Yeah, that was fake data.
Is there a mood entry method?
No, it's just like hard coded to make sure.
That's fine. We were telling you to focus on one thing. Cool. Any other comments, questions, suggestions?
Would all the components interact together to provide some kind of a holistic, general view, or even sort of a grade on how healthy your lifestyle is and your life's choices are? Can you go into that depth of analysis or presentation? Or would it just be standalone items?
Hopefully not. I mean, the idea was that you would be able to see for yourself, are you meeting goals that you've set? So for example, setting the 8 hours as the desired amount of sleep that you want, there's a way for you to see, am I meeting, and that could be sleep, that could be around exercise or nutrition. So am I meeting the goals that I'm setting for myself, but then also seeing over time how consistently I'm meeting those goals, and then how that relates to other markers like mood, right? So we can start to make connections between how is my mood impacted by my sleep, how is my mood potentially impacted by my physical activity, my nutrition, the way I'm dealing with stress, and so on. So as more and more areas would be completed, you would be able to see individual components and how well I'm doing at meeting those goals, but also the interrelatedness, ideally. Does that answer the question?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great, thank you.